There's a full moon in Scorpio this week, and we're digging deep and getting freaky.
Right now, living out loud, do it. Let's get it.
I don't just talk stuff and repeat stuff. I'm living this stuff.
And you can thank me for covering your astro.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Leading Out Loud, the spiritual shift show that's pioneering new high dimensions of pity. I'm step astrologer Christopher Otecki, also the channel of the step system.
I'm David Palmer, the Leo King.
And I'm Scott Cruz, psychic medium with scottcruzpm.com. How's the week been, guys?
There was a weekend?
Right.
How's the week been? I said the weekend since our show.
A lot of, let's say it's early Taurus. And so, and y'all, if you're wondering if we're in a bad mood, it's because we're having tech issues today. With tech issues, it's been pain in the butt. We just lost Dave. We just lost Scott again. Oh, here he is. He's back. He's going to come in and out of reality. So we'll just make a joke out of it. In fact, actually, let's do a drinking contest. Every time Scott leaves, do a shot. We go that
it's
way.
Not even noon yet.
But it's our noon. Yeah, exactly. It's been a tough week. Not tough, but just, I think, different. Taurus usually is about grounding, and this was not a grounding Taurus season. We're at step 9 today, which means it's time to take action and start to, demand what you're worth. So people are a little edgy today. It's an Aries energy going on, and a lot of people are not getting what they're worth. They're not getting what they're worth from themselves. They're not honoring themselves and their own values, and so it's creating a lot of tension, I think, in most situations, whether it's families, business situations, people due for pay, all this stuff. So it's a tense Taurus season in that sense. But I think once you set up this value system, boys, I think from here, that aggression goes from inner to outer. So I think it's going to get more tense in the outer world as people demand what they're worth.
Yeah, I want to say Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so it's slow and things take some time here to get going. Even though all the planets are direct, it's the last full week of all planets direct. Pluto retrogrades next week. So I think we have to remember, though, that with everything full force, Uranus just went into Gemini this weekend. We finally got all the outer planets that have moved into their new signs. We can for sure say we're in an air and fire age now. It's all doors open now. There is no more, I've been saying all week, there's no more boomerang. Like, you think that'll come back around, that opportunity? No.
I've been saying the same thing, dude. I've been saying the same thing. You get an opportunity, you don't hop on it, it's gone, guys. Just like Scott left. It's gone.
Right. It's really true, though.
We're getting one right now. God is only giving one exit, and I've had a lot of clients are like, "Should I take the offer?" I'm like, "You already lost the offer. It's gone." Like, things are happening so quickly. You want to hop on that opportunity right away. Worst case scenario is you have something to sell, something extra, right? But right now, you definitely want to take that exit if you can. Take the first offer too. Don't negotiate. There's no time for negotiation. Take the best offer and get out of there.
Well, I think people also need to, lately people have been rather particular about things because they're coming out of this identity shift phase. And so, they're knowing what they want now. But I think people were talking about, people, it's sexy time with Saturn, right? But at the same time, people are too particular to get sexy. And I think people have compiled on all these expectations, what they want. They're missing out what it's like to really connect. I think people need to be more focusing on vibe, less of expectations and those specific things that they think that they need. So I think a lot of people need to start focusing on the essence of things. Stop being so damn particular.
And long term.
I think that's the problem with the South Node being in Virgo. It's like that's the illusion. The North Node's in Pisces, so you have to dream. You don't know what it's going to feel like and be like exactly on the other side of the door that you're walking through, but you have to have the imagination for it. You can't have everything like perfect before you do something right now. Like that is the number one way to hold yourself back in life. Like, once I have enough money, once I have enough Botox in my, once I have this, then I can do that. Like, man, what happened to just getting down?
Well, I think that's part of the end of the last chapter. We did nothing but, work our butts off, and we're expecting some of a reward for that. And guess what? There will be no rewards. I just want to tell people. And what you think you're getting now, you're not going to get. God's going to do a bait and switch on this one. All right. So I think you have to listen to your instincts, and your mind doesn't know shit. Your mind is programmed for the old school. You got to go with your heart. You got to go with your intuition, and that'll put you on the right path. Let your heart choose the shiniest object, and I think that's your best call. Because otherwise, we just don't know what's around the corner. And there's something big coming. I still feel it. I still call it the race. There's something that's going to make our jaws drop coming up around the corner. That corner might be Gemini.
Well, I think we've slowly been doing the kind of jaw drop. We're starting to see previews of that, but it's not. I think people are not getting what they want. I think people are changing what they want, and they're starting to realize, I've been holding on like this desire that got so comfortable that this certain desire they wanted for so long is defined them. So a lot of people are afraid of letting go what they think that they wanted the whole time because it became their identity. And so I think the realization is like, I actually want something completely different. It's not that I'm not getting what I want. I'm getting something. I'm realizing what I really truly want. I think that's how this realization period right now. Like I want better fucking consistency on Restream right now. That's what I
yeah,
right. But I like that because I think also tagging with what Chris said, like, what is that shiny object? Like is there another one coming? Like it's like people are wanting always more than they actually really can get. I think that's what's happened is like Uranus and Taurus made you look at every shiny object and then go, I could have a better one too, and I can have a better one, and I can have now we're at a place where it's like, okay, you've had the best of everything. What is the ultimate now? And that's where that ultimate is now. So you take it. Like, there is no more weird stuff in Taurus except for Chiron coming in this year. And that's going to be the next Taurus thing is Chiron, which means there will not be a lot of shiny objects around.
Well, and I think what's created that is I call it the finger fucking the screen fucking syndrome. We're just always finger fucking that screen. We have everything in our accessibility. And I think that, people got so programmed into thinking I can push what I want. I could say what I want. I could get what I want. Just at the touch of a finger. It's corrupted human consciousness. And I think this is kind of the realization process that we're going through. Starting to realize that we're starting to see beyond the veil of things. Things are, not so real as they seem. So I think that's making people realize a lot about that. Is it really at my fingertips? So I think there's a huge cultural shift, and we have a headline, coming up about Meta, being accountable for, a lot of that mental health issues and imbalances within children. So something to that.
And things are going to change so much. I mean, look at AI. We bring it up every week, but the truth of the matter is like, AI is gobbling up a lot of what was, and we have no idea what's going to be left, honestly. Really, I've been telling people, really, if you have any sense at all of a good idea, go into AI and make it into a machine, make it into something right now. This is your one chance, your only chance in your whole lifetime. You'll kick yourself for the rest of your life if you don't do it. And they'll go, I don't know anything about AI. I say, you just ask AI. It'll tell you. Like, basically, it's the biggest. It's as if Henry Ford had the car talking to him. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a moment. So I'd say go for your dreams. This is a time where if you go for something outlandish, this is the time to go for something absolutely crazy minded. Go for the craziest thing right now because you have actually the best chance in this one moment to actually pull that off.
That would have been an interesting combo. Henry Ford and a Model T. Hey, this is what you got to do, man. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, what do you want me to do, Model T? I don't know. We got to put liquor in the back of a trunk that'll be in the back of this thing. And because there's prohibition going on too. Okay.
That's funny.
Because, I mean, Ford is the first American production car. The first vehicle actually was Mercedes-Benz, but
that's true.
It was the name of the daughter of one of the guys, and the other guy's last name was Benz. So it's a weird way they put those names together. But the first car actually was Mercedes-Benz.
I believe that. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Model T was just the one that came out.
That was the first big production, everybody. Model A and then T. T was the one that most people finally jumped on.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a weird time, and we have Uranus and Gemini officially, and so I feel like, I told a Gemini, I was like, Geminis, you guys think on a horizontal plane, you see from left to right, and for the next 10 years, 7 years, basically. You're going to find that every year the plane goes up and you have a whole new plane. What's so funny, guys? So, but basically, what you think, whatever you think, think again. Whatever you think again for the next 7 years. That's it. These guys, I can't take them anywhere in public anymore. All right. Totally so funny. But I feel like so really you have to go with your feelings and your heart. Like this is where you have to use the Force. This is where Star Wars was really relevant. This is where Lucas was ahead of the game. You have to feel the Force, Luke. Put on the blindfold and feel the Force because that's the way you're going to get through these next 2 years. And that's the only way. If you have a good feeling about it, proceed. If you have a bad feeling about it, wait.
Yeah, I like that you're using that because the Force also does have that Aries energy. They have a lightsaber too. They're gonna fight for what they need to do too. Even though most of the Force is like, no, these droids like don't pay attention to this stuff, but when they need to do something, they do it.
Yeah.
I think people look at the Force sometimes as like, oh, the dark and like the light, and that's true. But like there is a Force that's used for dark and light, but they both take action, right? And I think that people sometimes just want I think what's gone is wait around and see what happens. Like, it's more like get in the door and then see how it evolves and then take the next step. Like, it's not about, well, I'm just going to wait and see if it boomerangs around and comes back. Like, no, it's not going to happen.
That's a rabbit hole for people waiting for things to come back because people have to understand the chapter that they're in, the cycle that they're in. We give resources, astrology resource, understand the energetic cycles. I'm positioned here on my trajectory. Oh, okay. So what I want is not until like chapter 4 and I'm on chapter 2. And so I think people are like, again, it's like recycling back to the fact that if I gotta get what I want. If I get what I want, I'm doing something bad. It's like you have to focus on what you're being. That's the power. That's the leading power. And my preferences, and doing this work has changed my preferences in saying that I want to become a better version, right? And so it's not what I've been obtaining in life. It's like the better version. Am I responding differently? Am I taking the clues of wisdom through the challenges, right? And I really feel like people are being pressed to look at that, because I've said so many times before with you guys too, and just on my own, it's like no one's like shocked by anything anymore. Kind of been there, done that, right? And that's why we're all particular. And people are like, they're not sexual, they're not having sex. Like, right? We were saying the sex rates are down. People are not like really,
what is going on with that?
Because people are just particular. They're so focused on survival too right now, and what to obtain. They lost the vibe, man.
That's why people aren't manifesting, though.
What?
It's the stuff in the food.
I don't think people are manifesting what they need because they're not having sex. If you want to manifest and make some fucking coin, you fuck.
They're not having sex because there's stuff in the water. I mean, literally, they put fluoride in the water in the concentration, camps to keep them from having sex. Like we are all under the same chemical all the time. The fluoride.
I'm doing well. I definitely still play my '90s R&B. I'm pretty good in the sex department, so it's going well over here. Because again, it's a vibe, man. It's about we'll vibe you in. The people are. Here's the thing: people are not sensual enough anymore. It's either about sex or not. They're not being sensual. What about sensuality, right? And so, which leads to it. What happened to foreplay? No one does that anymore, right?
Let's get to porn. I think porn, the internet did that. I mean, seriously. Hey, look, everyone who doesn't like porn. Here's one of the topics he always is. But the truth of the matter is like when I was a kid, you had to go between the and get the Playboy from your dad, whatever. There was a limited how much you had. You'd use your imagination with the magazines you had. Now it's like you got 25 browser windows open with 25 different sites of free porn or whatever. People are just never satisfied, right? Seriously, they're never satisfied. That's the case.
I thought the whole getting hung with being on amphetamines and doing that was a lot, but you just beat it out with 25 tabs open. Oh my god,
dude! I've seen
24/7. Like, oh man,
it's streaming in. That's where the bandwidth is going. And the internet was built for that. I mean, Y2K was all about setting up the porn networks. that was about. Like they're trying to get everything in.
Yeah,
but
it was.
But what the problem is instant gratification, and also we all know if anyone's watched a porn, it's not how it goes. Right? Like it's not how it goes at all. And that's the whole point of it. It's a fantasy. But the point is the kids who are doing it, like they're all following this stuff. And so there's no foreplay, like Scott said. There's also, I think the foods make us docile. We're all sitting around like cows because we're eating this food that has all this processing stuff.
You got the medicines, you got the toxic metals, right. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things we're integrated with, but there's so much level of expectation, right? That people, again, they're fixated on the visuals, they're fixating on the presentation of shit. They're not like focusing on what's the vibe, the vibe of like, what's the vibe with the person? What's the vibe with sexuality? And someone's like, yeah, sex being expression. Well, duh, of course. But it doesn't mean that you can have like the cheap, dirty sex too to understand intimacy and more about your body. Sometimes people do vapid sex expressions too to learn more about their body, their intimacy levels. So I think we tend to even judge that people who just want to have sex to enjoy sex. So I don't know how we're getting to this topic, but but I think
and there's David.
Sometimes it's good just to embrace that innate desire too, to find more about yourself, discover more about yourself with your intimacy, sexual desire.
It's the smartphone too. You go to a bar. You go to a bar, they're on their fucking smartphones. They're on their smartphones at bars. They're on different sites or tearing each other in the bar. It's like we don't even talk to each other anymore. That's part of the problem.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say what I think is like. There's also the element of where people, and it kind of goes with what Scott was saying. Is like people now have such a high expectation. It's like they create these huge rules and these huge things of what they need. So and they make that to get to sex. Right. So it's to get to sex. Right. When in the old days, the girl that I ended up always being with my girlfriend for long term was the girl that I had sex with. Right. Like it was like it like just happened, and you connect and you love each other in the sensual, and like, oh my God, it's the best that you could get. Like, you're like, okay, that's the one I want to be with. But now it's like gatekeeped out. Like sex is a gatekeeping thing now. That's the weird part. It's like, oh, I only give it away unless you do this, and I get this, and I get that, and I get that, and that, and then blah, 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 blah. What?
Yeah.
And then because it's conditional, then it's always going to be conditional and transactional.
Remember the days of being around somebody, you had like a little bit of crush on them, then you had that anticipation, right? The butterfly feeling of liking someone and going through the motions of chasing them. And then, oh my gosh, they're going to touch my leg, they're going to kiss me. And like all anticipation is the vibe. It's a lead up. There's no lead up anymore. Here it is. Here's dick. Here's all this. It's all now. And people become judgmental. That's not big enough. That's not the shape I want. We become so materialistic about it all and superficial. And so I'm hoping that, with the changes with Meta and all that stuff, that people become more, less desensitized. Because we're desensitizing when it comes to like violence and stuff too, and even now with the PDF stuff, people are desensitized. Now it's like a normal term in our technology, which I think is needed, but it's like no one's like batting an eye anymore, really, about it. Where's emotion?
I heard Generation Y is starting to do events. Like they're starting. It's becoming popular to go to an event, which is what we did when we were kids. We had to go to a dance. You had to take the girl to dance, and blah blah blah. It was a whole process. We described, Scott, that whole those 5 steps or whatever happens in one camera. One exchange of a live camera right now. Like where they are literally naked and they have the whole thing and they're gone with it. And it's just a virtual experience is the issue. I feel though it eventually snaps back. Like people worry about the Mother Earth and the environment. It snaps back. People will eventually be craving for it again, and I think it will happen. But we're in a weird moment, that's for sure. And maybe it's a slowdown. Maybe it's a slow down and see what really matters. And I think that's a good time to start our headlines. Who wants to do that first headline, boys?
Everybody? I mean, I always like I'm in outside the.
Oh my goodness!
I guess I'll read the first headline.
You go, brother.
All right, so we have primates gaining years of healthy life from new aging treatment, genetically enhanced stem cells successfully rejuvenated organs, and improved physical function in aging monkeys with effects comparable to several years of biological youth restoration. The breakthrough is now fueling accelerated development of human longevity treatments.
I'll just say I've been calling this for a long time. It's becoming strong. We will be the first generation to live to 100. I think they're gonna break it. We're gonna be able to take off the gene, whatever lock is on our genetic code that makes us start to age. I really believe it was put on there by some species, but I think we're gonna break through. I think we're gonna live as long as we want to live. If you're alive right now, an adult, I think
there are people. There's like the oldest living person. I think is 125 right now. I think is the oldest living person. So I mean, it's been achieved. Personally, I don't know if I want to live that fucking long. I'd be like to dip out of here and go to another den and so forth. But I think we've already accomplished that. But again, with our foods and metals, the toxic foods and all that stuff is preventing a lot of that. The mental health shit is going on. But do you really want to live that much longer?
Yes, totally.
You do.
Yeah. Well, no. You also, from what I understand, this is from guides, and this is also from guidance I've had from other people. There was a genetic disease put on the human race by an alien species that wanted to control us and make us into slaves. If we lift that up, we always stay the age of 35, basically. Your body creates cells within every 7 years. You have brand new cells in you within every 7 years. So why would we ever age, past 7, frankly? but we do. There's a growth cycle. So it doesn't make sense for us to age, and they know how it's done. They figured out where it is. I think it's going to be reversed. And I think also population control. Hey, you're not going to have so many kids when you know you had to have them for 160 years paying stuff. You know what I mean? Like you slow down on that stuff too. I think it all takes care of itself because I think we've been screwed with from the beginning.
Well, I mean, I think the interesting part of the age part, like the oldest people on record, they've done studies. They smoke and they drink.
Yep.
Right? Okay. It's not about the physical health. It's about the soul, spirit, enjoying life, keeping your stress levels down, being social, checking in with friends every day.
Yep.
Like the most basic things. Like my grandma's 96. Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
And she is with it. Like, and you know what it is? She's social.
Yes, that's part of it too.
She eats real butter, eats like 1 to like 2 meals, very small, doesn't eat a bunch her whole life. And she's social, and she's a kind, good person, and she enjoys other people besides just thinking about herself. And that's my other grandmother lived to 94, and that's how she was.
Yeah.
I think this is me. I just think like the new peptide thing, there's a lot of stuff associating with like that's the way they got the people who didn't want to take the vax to
it's not a trend.
In.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think all this is just a new money machine.
I agree.
And you know, you have to remember there's the whole COVID thing brought out the whole Hydra obsession. That's what all these universities are using Hydra to create these cells that will infinitely reproduce themselves, but you'll never go back home. They want you to live forever in this jail.
And so,
I'm never going to be in the.
Oh, I don't feel we're going to have. This is not an unhappy ending. I feel like we have a happy ending in this lifetime. I really do feel like.
I agree with you in saying that.
Oh, jeez.
More for this matrix.
Wow.
It might be actually his internet. It's kind of crazy because it's kind of going.
Well, you know, we chose this time because it's when people watch YouTube the most, and here we are fighting for that bandwidth. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Well, let me finish that point. As I was saying, is I agree. They want to keep you longer than they are bound to it. They want people to strive for that physicality. And I was going to say, like, to what degree? Because
oh man, yeah. Thanks for working with this, people.
But I mean, I think people will have both. Like maybe there's some little things, like if they could regrow teeth, which is what they're starting to do.
Yeah,
that I would do.
The teeth, right? The teeth thing, all these other aspects. I mean, the peptide thing is such a trend, like about hair, and it's like that shit don't work. That's not a solution because there's other things that are interfering. I always think it's another trend, you know, personally.
I don't know the peptide thing. Tell me, I'm in the closet about it. What is the peptide thing?
I said the peptide things years ago. I've tried it years ago. Now it's become like this mainstream thing. It's like no different. You know, there's other reasons that cause hair loss, low testosterone, all this stuff. It's not, you know, to take peptide, it solves the problem. There's a lot of stuff with nutrition and the stuff that we're inhaling in our environment, right?
Oh man, yeah, inhaling. So, what is the peptide thing, David?
I mean, basically, they're just these molecules, peptides. It really stems off the stem cell. Stuff, right?
Gotcha.
So to rejuvenate cells.
Oh, absolutely.
It's more of a topical thing. Some of it is ingestible, right?
Right.
And so, you know, for hair, for teeth now, for skin, now it's moving into every health category that you can. I tried like a topical on my face. Did it help? I don't know. I think the mirror is the worst thing that was ever created because there's so many people like body dysmorphia now. I'm a Leo, so I already it's good for Leos actually. You would agree, right? Mirrors were meant only for Leos because we actually don't think that we look like shit. We actually know we're the shit. So for me, why do I need a peptide? I'm already naturally good.
Right. And back in the day, only the royalty could afford mirrors when it first began. You know, it was one of those things, that and glass. Okay. Well, I think it's time to move on to our second topic. David, you want to read that one for us? Because I don't have the height.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah. So a gunman opened fire at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is weird because Trump never did any of those. Remember?
Yep.
So
We
I find it really weird that, of course, a gunman fires there while all of the chief of staff, everybody's there, prompting a rapid evacuation. President Trump and all the senior officials, which really was the whole line of succession.
right.
And it happened on Saturday night at the same hotel, the Washington Hotel, that Reagan was shot in 1981 outside.
I'd like to know, is there any organizational memory in the Secret Service? It seems like they learn nothing from every mistake. If I was president, I'd have my own security. I would not trust them. I mean, at this point, it pretty much shows that we're open target. Just go for it. You know, you can pretty much sneak into anything, it seems like. I mean, for the assassination attempt, Trump,
yeah, this is did you see the video? The guy is running faster. So they have the magnetometers, which is the last line of defense, right? To come into the event. This dude with a shotgun and a couple handguns runs as fast as he can. Like, I've never seen a dude just like book it, right? And he had a ticket and he was at the hotel where he loaded up his shotgun and everything. And then he ran through, he was on the first floor. He shot a secret agent a Secret Service guy. And then he starts firing up to the second floor where the ballroom is. So he never got into the ballroom, but he started firing that way. Then they evacuate everybody because, of course, the president, vice president, the whole entire cabinet is there, right? The whole line of succession.
right.
So then they cancel it. Then Trump goes on. He acts like he is in love with everybody and everybody's in love with him. Everybody's cool now, right?
Right.
Democrats, Republicans, and the press are all cool now. And then the next day, this guy comes out with all of his like secret kind of like post about that, you know, he hates Trump and he wants to kill him. But then this is the reason why Trump is saying we need the ballroom.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's Stevie Wonder could see it staged. You know, it's like even enforcing more of the, you know, this ballroom thing, and so and whatever underground bunkers is below that. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. To me, this shit's just so obvious. It's predictable.
Well, and the gunman he worked at NASA in like 2016. There's like really weird stuff that he was doing in the right. So it's like, then if you actually want to go deep down the rabbit hole, like his name was posted by like this whole like Q thing like 3 years ago.
Oh, right.
Right.
Isn't there like a time machine thing going on with Twitter?
Correct. And then it's with the time machine. And then the time machine picture is actually the exact, if you look at it, it's not a picture. It's like a magic eye thing.
Oh.
It's the assassination of Trump in 2024 in Pennsylvania.
Huh. I kind of get the feeling there's someone going through time and trying to leave clues for us. You know?
And honestly, that's at the end of the day, the staged part, you would stage. I mean, it is Back to the Future thing where it's kind of like, hey, go get the magazine,
right?
To bet on everything that you want to bet on. And if you think of the way the markets are and with the way the war is and how that all thing, it's all tied to like, it feels like Back to the Future. It feels like that. I mean, it's kind of, and with what's come out and where we're at with AI technology, quantum computing, and then we're in the energies after 2012 with the Mayan calendar, where we are. That makes more sense to me than anything else, is that they are playing with time.
Of course.
And that's, and even with Uranus, the moment it went into Gemini was when the shots happened. Like literally the moment.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, that's uncanny. Well, step 0, which is death too. Pluto.
Yeah.
I think they know astrology too. I mean, if they know about time, they know about astrology too. They know how to harvest those energy currents to do what they do.
Yep.
I mean, 9/11.
Certainly do.
Hello, 9/11, right? And so
I've always said the dark deep state has some good fucking astrologers because they are really sharp on their money.
That's right.
And 9/11 is what showed me that. I look back at 9/11 like you could not pick a more perfect day to have something fly into a building.
Even look at numbers like the victims of shootings, like 33, 17, 13. It's always like unique numbers.
Oh yeah, and the shooter is a Mason and does all these Mason symbols in his pictures.
There you go.
Of course he does. Yes.
There you go.
All right.
And wasn't Trump's father also a 33rd degree Freemason too? Trump's dad.
But what about the Trump? What about those Trump books too? We talked about that. Was it the
the one connecting to Baron Trump?
Baron Trump. Yes, exactly. What is that? I don't know.
It's a book from the 1890s that talks about the last president and that has a son named Baron Trump.
Wow.
It looks exactly like him.
Wow.
That's a time traveler.
Emerson Lockwood, I think is his name, right?
Wow. Baron is
So
kind of weird. Maybe that's why Baron's like 7 foot tall. His son, like
I'm not kidding. Go look at the pic. You'll be like, what?
Yeah.
it is
The
hard to
same
fathom.
kid. I mean, it's more of the picture that would associate with him during the first term.
But
Right?
during the
Because
Q,
Barron's in his 20s
yeah.
now. But like that, those pictures of him in his early teens, it's the same dude.
That's interesting. What about the looking glass? We haven't talked about that in a long time. The Q had the thing called looking glass. Remember that? The whole Q thing. They allegedly had this looking glass machine that can look in the future and
That's actually really connecting to David Wilcock, which ironically
wow.
Right.
Here we
is
go.
passing the weekend prior.
Wow.
Than this.
Yeah, that is true. It's all weaving
I
together.
think if you know all that information, like, would you get to a point where you actually would out yourself to go into the future and come back and help in a different way? Like, I think about that too. Would you purposely out yourself? So if you understand time travel, you have the connections to doing so. Would you actually out yourself here if you could do a better justice going and coming back? Like, I think about that too. If these people who just disappear, like all these scientists disappear, they're disappearing because they're being outed themselves or taking themselves out because they can be better assistants in another timeline. I wonder about that. Philosophical.
I mean, that kind of reminds me, I love the show Dark Matter on Apple TV of like the superposition and like, every part of our life where we make one little decision, then there's that other reality right next to it. And you can go through all those doors. And I feel like if you had that technology, right, which we basically have, to get into a multiverse and to really get into a superposition of all of your versions of yourself, like what you could go in that world and mess with that person to get them to kill themselves, your own self, to do whatever you want, and then jump back into the superposition and go to another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's really what the deeper part of it is. Like, this reality sucks.
Right.
I don't care. Like, you know what? Let me make it easy on you. Because in the Dark Matter, he has to kill his wife during a real pandemic, right? Like, and she remembers everything, every story, everything. But she's like, you died. And he's like, no, here. And then he gets the thing and he kills her. I love that show. And season 2 is coming out this August.
So do you guys sense that people are actually going through time?
But that's what I'm saying. That's people have had access to that, or ways that they can, find a way to cross connect timelines. I believe so. They have the ability to be like, it's easier to out yourself out if you can have that accessible to you, and you wear like, oh, there's no death, and I can just hop. I believe so, for sure. Again, we have so many things that have been so predictable. That's why psychics can, predict the future and predict timelines because they exist. Look at the predictive program with like The Simpsons and Family Guy and all these other TV shows that predicted things, and with the predictive programming, right? I remember I told you guys about this like 4 weeks ago about the Illuminati card deck from like the 90s and how it predicts all these different segments and sections and Trump and all that, and so there are people playing around with that. There's people playing around knowing the timeline shifts, and it could be also part of us too doing that, And
it was actually this event at the White House Correspondents' Dinner that like 4 of those cards were in the dinner.
Yeah. Right.
What?
See?
So that was what was really wild. So I think honestly, that's what the big thing is. Plus the White House last year came out and admitted that we have the technology to do time manipulation.
Yeah. Yep.
They put it out on the White House.
So how does that work? Did they say?
And then they never explain it. They just, and then all the press tend to ask, and they just,
plop it.
Put a blonde up there, move on.
Yep. Right.
Like the FC Wells, move on. Right. Like, that's where they are playing with time for sure. That is the main. And I had this thought last night. I went, I'm going to bring it back to the sex thing. Why are relationships so weird for, I would say, majority of people? If they're messing with time, they could be messing with the superposition of every person to where like your partner could turn into another version.
Sure.
Oh shit.
And so then you're like, wait, I don't know what happened here. Imagine being on your 3rd date and they just turn into somebody else. It's not a psychology thing. It's like,
what's crazy?
The timeline, and some people get changed and some people don't. You know what I mean? Crazy? Like, it's just like, wait, what? And they probably are getting into math problems like that become, well, to me, that's like the worst thing, right? Worse than the chemtrails, worse than the health is the idea that, yeah, we
It's
moved
all
the
bad.
superposition of people accidentally. There's like this many people that accidentally get kind of switched.
You know,
I
it's
could
crazy.
swear I had a Mandela effect a couple times already this
What's
lifetime.
crazy about you? What's crazy about you saying that? Like I was trying to say before, is that we talked about before about people having different versions and stuff like that too. But I was saying there's moments, and this is why I don't do psychedelics. I've seen people shift into different versions like in real time. I've seen their appearance change, like people call it shapeshifters. I've seen that. I've seen people that I know. I'm like, wait a minute, they're in a complete different version of themselves. Like, what shift would change with them? I've seen it happen instantaneously. So I believe, and I don't know if CERN has been closed. I've been shut down for a time, from what I heard. But when they opened up some shit back in the day, like people changed. People that I knew have completely become different versions of themselves. So I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised. It's also a side effect of what they're doing too. It's changing of timelines.
I mean,
I've
that
seen
would
it
be
like,
the true
happen.
MPC energy. That the MPC is the one that is not aware enough to hold its anchor to its timeline.
They're most affected by it. Yeah.
Right. So then you are like, it's the idea of looking glass, in my opinion, would be then you're just in the wave of wherever they want to throw you in time.
Yeah.
Dimensionally.
The NPCs are most affected by it. You see them driving off cliffs, like just like, huh? They lose all sense of consciousness. I'm like, that's an NPC. I've seen people freeze up, literally, like walking down the street, just freeze. And I've gotten video. I'm like, what is going on? Like,
wow.
I'm like, what is like? So yeah, I think NPCs are the most.
Well, I think he's right. I just I know we got to move on, but I think people love this subject on the chat right now. I think what's crazy is if you think about homeless camps, what happened in the Matrix, right? It's like all these people kind of in the streets and just kind of like not really knowing why they're there, doing things. And over these years, since they opened CERN and since 2012 and the galactic shift, you're just starting to see people just kind of like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here.
Okay.
And they're just kind of like out there.
I feel like I'm going to be arrogant, but I'm going to be arrogant. I feel like I would have felt it. There's a couple of times where I did feel reality shift like big time. And I would just tell my followers, I felt a timeline shift. That's the way I put it. But I did wake up to a whole new world. I was like, this is not the world I went to bed in. There's maybe twice in the last 2 years that happened. Where I woke up and I was like, and there's a couple of Mandela effects. I can't remember the details. But there's a couple of things where I was like, no, it was Ovaltine or something, like just 2 days ago. And I was convinced and it was different. So I have seen just a couple of pieces of evidence. I'm wondering if anyone who's chatting right now has had any evidence like that, where you just woke up in a different world and it's been different since. There's certainly been a couple of times where it felt off. But you would think we'd get it more, like, I think we're so caught in our own personal drama that we just think it's us, and we don't realize that it could be a global thing.
And that's their biggest secret, I think. I think the Epstein file stuff is hiding that kind of little nuance, and it wouldn't be that big of it wouldn't be like this big paper that reveals this big thing, but it would be just enough for somebody to find that, to get the access to what's going on, right? Like, so I think like we always expect some big bombshell when actually they hide things subtly. And I think the time aspect of it, like you said, you wake up and you're like, this is not the same place. That's happened to me like 7 times at least now in the since 2012. Since like you and I remember doing our video on the night of 2012 and like going through the experience with Twyla Blue and her boyfriend, now husband, all that stuff. And I felt it that day. I remember being like, it feels weird now.
That's true.
I
felt it that day too, but I thought it was my shift. I was also young.
Right. And I think that's where we're at the more anchored you are as a soul, the more you can like be aware of it. Like, this is shifted. This is not normal. And maybe it's that you're not shifting, but a lot of other parts of timelines have shifted, but yours is because the looking glass brings it all to one timeline.
That's the interesting part. Well, what's funny is that talking to Wendy Kennedy and the Palladians, they said it's one timeline. There's not two. That's a myth. There's A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B choices that you're constantly happening, but that we're all anchored to the same timeline, which makes more sense to me. Of course, there's other timelines in the sense of, the 1800s is a timeline, if you want to think about that perspective. From a 4D perception, when you're in heaven or wherever, I guess you can see all the different lifetimes just right there visually in space. space and time equal the same thing, but it feels like we're all anchored. What do you feel?
Yeah, I think that I think there is evidence saying that what they're doing because they know they're going to lose the dark, right? At the one timeline. That right
Ah,
before that
you're
happens,
right. Then we worried about losing if there's more.
as it's all been condensing, and that
Into a
they're doing
singularity.
everything to get you to almost maybe not get to that place or get to it to where you're frazzled out. You could look at it in a million different ways,
I
but
think you're
I
right.
think, at the end of the day, they lose,
Yeah,
and it
and they know they
ends
are.
up on that one timeline. And there's also this whiteness that after 2012 Looking Glass saw, and that
Oh,
it
really?
was becoming to where the pictures they were seeing that were overlapped kept getting quicker and quicker, A, B, A, B, A, B, B, and like so fast where they had to use supercomputers back then to try and decipher it. And I think that's why you see when we call the elite and stuff, we're in this kind of weird white. One timeline would be open infinite, and
Mm,
they're trying to find control, which never works.
right.
And so I think we have to break the cycle by remembering when you think about your life, it is a white, infinite universe right now. There is no way to put a wall up, but they're putting these walls that people believe they have to do, like in a video game. There's a secret door
Right.
everywhere.
Well, I believe in the singularity. That's exactly what's happening. If you look at the physics of it, it's a big bang and there'll be the big crunch. It's all back to that singularity. And I think when it comes
Yeah.
to multi lifetimes, what I've noticed is I'm becoming more and more aware of all my lifetimes. I really am. I'm surprised. I would never have thought that when I met you, David. I would never thought that. I barely had a past life flashback when I first met you.
I remember,
And,
well,
and
Pam
now
T came into our life and changed that.
what happened? Yes, was that what changed it? Yeah.
Pam T, when Pam T
Oh, you're right.
joined Soul Garden,
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
she
You're right.
changed
Yeah.
all of us. I mean,
She
we
shifted
were,
us. Yeah. She's right. You're right.
it was what's his name, the cowboy psychic healer, and he did his, and then we were all on that Titanic, and then he went to England
Right.
and met the family
Right.
of who he was in a past life
Right.
and knew everything.
He did. Yeah. So a friend.
True
we should
story.
talk-
And he made a book about it.
He did. Is it out? Because we can talk about it if that's
Yeah,
the
that
case.
was like 7 years ago, or 8 years
Basically,
ago.
he was the radio operator on the Titanic, and he was feeling guilty about it
Yeah.
because he went to bed early or something.
I know.
And, and he felt guilty in this lifetime about it. But then he went and researched it on his own and found it for himself. You're right. And
We were all on the Titanic, he said, and we all died.
we all were. Shit. That makes that's why I hate boats. I
Remember,
do hate.
a long time ago, Christopher, I
I
read
guess
the
so.
Titanic. It was negligent on someone's part. Remember a long time ago on the show, we actually read the Titanic. And I said, I feel like the operator had negligence and didn't see it coming. because
Oh
they
yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
So it's
Oh,
interesting. You
I
say
think there's
remorse
still
about it.
felt-
That story.
You know what?
That's
It's probably both. Oh
interesting.
no, I've been nervous about boats my whole life. I don't like them. I even go. I don't think I've been on David's boat. Never. I don't go on boats. Bull don't like the boats. So we move
No,
on to the
you
next
used
topic.
to come to my DJ parties on the big boats in Newport, but those are like
Drinking heavy. Those are booze
three-story.
cruises. I was drinking
Yeah.
heavy. I was not
Blues
happy bull.
Cruise.
Yeah, booze cruises around the
Well,
harbor.
I think
Those
with this
is-
car story, because in 2027, your car could be shut down because they're going to use AI technology and surveil you to see if you're drunk or that it's kind of an open in the law where they're saying, well, if you look like you are impaired or not suitable to drive. So if you notice already, they've had the whole take a rest, drink coffee. They shove that shit in your face if you just I don't know, you're trying to reach for your charger.
Yeah. I think here's what I feel.
Think about with this now, and this is law in Congress passed.
Yeah.
Right. And now the companies are having to do this for 2027 vehicles. They need to be doing that to the airplanes. They need to be doing that to the boats, not your individual freedom in a car.
I got 2 words for you: dark web. Okay, there's always going to be anti-AI. I bet you my AI will fight that shit. But then we're forgetting also we're not even going to be driving anymore. This is a moot point. We're going to be sitting in the back seat of our car having champagne because the car is going to do it for us. Tesla's already shown us. We won't have to keep our hands on the wheel. I think this is a really weird thing. I think this is a way to get a law in for control of other AI later, but really is irrelevant. We're not going to drive cars in like 2
Again,
minutes.
they always center around safety, right? So safety for you. Okay, so but I think it's bullshit. They've been doing this for a long time. You go into stores. I think Walmart. You go into the store, the security cameras. They're always recognizing a face, right? The cameras recognize faces. They've been doing that for a long fucking time. To be able to
That's true.
what mood are you in? And so that's more that
And that came
social
from
score shit.
China.
I'm
It did
saying
come
from
from
China,
China.
right? The social
China.
score stuff that they have, in certain parts of China,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. And then you can read the date of the person. They can see what emotion they're in, if they're behaving properly. So, it's going in that direction. I feel like, will it be successful in America? I don't know if Americans will tolerate that, but that's the
They're not.
implementation. I feel like why they're doing that crap.
Well, like in a lot of cars now, you can turn on if you have like a really smart car, like the higher end Mercedes, the higher end Fords, the higher end of
They
anything.
did that already.
You can
Yeah.
turn on like send your data of your driving to your insurance companies to get a better rate.
Oh,
I
what about
turn
these
that shit
things
off.
like the insurance
I turn
companies?
that
once they
shit off
remove-
because in all my AMGs and all my my Shelby and shit, I'm like, when they see me hitting 180 miles an hour, they're gonna fucking raise my rate.
180.
This brings
Jesus
up a good
Christ.
point, though.
Oh, dude,
People need to be
I
conscious of
used
their
to do
data.
that shit all the time.
Be conscious of your data, guys, because everyone in the world. I don't use Google for email because I know that fucking Gemini is going to ingest it. I know you have to be
All
careful
Google
where you
products,
put
nope.
anything. I don't do stuff in text messages anymore. I don't tell anything in text messages because it's public. You got to be very careful because it's not now, but in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, the AI is going to go back and ingest this stuff and come up with any kind of approach they want. Just like a court case right now, it looks at data, it comes with an angle. People go, well, there's the facts. No, there's no facts. If you have a forensics of a person getting shot, you got a forensic expert for one side, you got a forensic expert for the other side. It's still the interpretation of the facts that get you in jail or whatnot. And what's going to happen is you're going to have AI eating up all this old data of you just being a dick on the phone one day, and you're going to find yourself in problems. So guys, people, start pulling back your stuff. Get behind firewalls. Get to private communities like we have. Get your data off.
Like,
right?
yeah, Instagram just took away encryption on your private messages.
But not just
Oh,
that,
yeah,
you can't trust the cloud-based server is not going to be fucking manipulating your data either. That's why I always have hard copies on drives that I back up. You want to have I have like so many hard drives. I keep things backed up too because you can't trust cloud-based services either.
Right.
You can easily manipulate the data that you have. So I agree with you on that. Your data is like your
it's
life
encrypted.
force.
It's encrypted side to side. Well, yeah, but here's the truth of the matter. It can be encrypted, sure, but they're recording everything that goes across these, and they're making everything go across these anyways on the trunk cables. That's why you want to go with the Elon Musk service because it's not going to have that in Starlink right now, at least as far as we know. But it's he'll bypass all that stuff, but it's all being copied. So once the crazy computers or whatever are fast enough, it'll be a 2-second wait to decrypt it, look at your shit, analyze it, and put it back. It's like.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Reach out, touch what was once just in your imagination.
Visit iriseshine.com.
Wow. I Rise to Shine.
That's a way to shut people up.
If you guys don't know, I Rise to Shine is a show going on Sundays that I'm now going live, and I have an announcement right here. I'll tell you right now. My next version of horoscopes is coming out. It is called, do you know? Step Astrology Now. Basically, we're going to be doing a Step Astrology Now show. It's going to be on Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is going to be, of course, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to go live from 10 to 11. And then we're going to have, after that, I Rise, I Shine live with Jai, myself. So I'm booking everything in on Sundays. I'm excited to have the new versions out, guys. There's going to be some throwbacks, David, to my original show you might appreciate.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been being very quiet about this. People have been complaining, where's the show? Where's the horoscopes? Well, you'll see where they were. It just took some time. They're being
Anybody
improved.
who's been doing the work has taken not a step back, but a step forward with building the new way.
I
I
am.
don't
And
understand how people don't get the astrology and not see that right now. Because I did the same thing over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not doing it wrong. I'm tired of doing it wrong. And now with AI, thanks to you pointing that out and Scott as well, and what we've been doing, it's like it's a whole new world. I actually feel, honestly, my AI is going to take care of probably the first couple of readings for anybody. By the way, it's great because I can't get to those first 2 readings. I'm just too busy. So I think it's going to do a lot to help more information go out to more people. And then when I get the reading, if they want to escalate to that level, then we'll have a really interesting conversation. Because right now I feel like a flight attendant. I'm just like, all right, I'm jumping to Mars. It's it's just the same script over and over again.
Where's my nuts?
Yeah.
I want my nuts. But the thing is, you have to. If you give so much free content out to people, they expect that, and then become very entitled to the free content.
Well, who's it free?
You want to bring people the value of the content, and so like free, but also here's a little bit extra if you want. And so I just noticed that with my two years on doing the social media trend is, people just get very comfortable with free content. And they almost feel entitled about it. Some people
They do, but let me tell you, the free stuff is the shit.
Reading?
We don't give away the,
but I think that you have to do away with Christopher.
well, you have to be careful now with free, because now it doesn't matter if you turn off on YouTube, hey, don't use my info to train AI. But anybody can now take your video, put it in Codex or Claude Code, take the transcript and train it themselves.
Kind of.
So free now
that's right.
is not the way to do it anymore.
No, free's not the way to do it. But also, I've never been dumb. I've never given away the actual secrets in any of the stuff I've done. Never. I've always kept those fine. I knew ahead of time. Talk about time machine. I knew that if I gave away the algorithm, I'd be doomed. So everything you guys see, you don't see that there's always one little magical thing behind the scenes, and never give that away, people. Never give that. I will say this. This is another good AI tip. You guys keep your secrets. When I say secret, you don't tell anybody. You don't write it down. You keep it in your head. There's some things that you just should never.
I think we should pick one last story, because there's 3 more, and I think we should do the lucid dreaming one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do it.
I think that ties with what we're doing more. So
which is what Scott's really in, is a dream right now.
Lucid dreaming on demand, prophetic neurotech headband goes live. Company is taking pre-orders for its non-invasive headbands designed to induce and stabilize lucid dreams during natural sleep cycles. One of the most ambitious consumer attempts yet to commercialize lucid dreaming technology.
Wow. I won't do it.
I think it reminds me of like the new AirPod Pro 3s, right? Like they could read your brain waves, right?
Yeah, that's scary.
So
say that again. I don't know if people know that.
Yeah, so the new AirPod Pro 3s can read your heart rate, but they're also reading your brain waves.
They're reading your brainwaves, guys. Your AirPods are reading your brainwaves. Now
they're reading your brainwaves to know. This is what TikTok, and why it was like the government got rid of TikTok for when it was China owned, because they were doing that with when you were watching a story or watching TikTok, the lidar, the ultra
on the phone, it's watching
the light
you,
hitting you, that is repeated for your face.
Yes.
Was understanding your emotions.
Yes.
Off every video.
Look, I've had I have infrared cameras around the house, of course, for nighttime. And I'll tell you right now, people who are on their phone, you just see it. It's just flashing every 2 seconds. You see how many times your iPhone is flashing, getting a picture of you. It's pretty scary, really. And we just sit there like zombies. Who even knows we're getting hypnotized by it? We might be.
Yeah, and so I think with the lucid dreaming, to anchor them more, I feel like that's almost like kind of putting you in a prison of somebody else's doing. Like, I want to be able, when I lucid dream, I go wherever I want to go. I don't need something to hold me into their idea, because it almost is like adding a weight. Maybe I don't want to stay in that lucid state. That would be like terrifying.
Reminds me of that. What was the movie with what's his face? I can't remember.
When you're dreaming, you want to be able to go from here to there to there. You want to just keep going around. You don't want to be stuck somewhere.
Here's a tip, y'all. God has provided a path for this anyways. You want to do lucid dreaming and just do a little meditation.
Lord.
There's a pathway to it. It's built into your actual human body already. You don't need to hack. If you hack, you're going to be in trouble. I'm not hacking ever. I don't care. I'm not going to
No,
let any
hack
of
the external stuff like your car when they
Right.
have this stuff.
Go ahead, hack away my equipment, but you're not getting into my soul.
I don't
You're
know.
not getting into my body or my body. Nothing. Poor Scott. I'm going to read from Scott. Why I'm even here? There's a thought comes from the other side. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh my God, we're having some major stuff issues. Oh man. Oh, and the freeze frames. Oh, whoa, that was bad. Hello. Okay. Wow.
I don't know
Y'all.
what's going on.
We're
Yeah,
sorry.
it's definitely a bandwidth thing on his side.
There's-
Whether it's Restream or him, you can hear it. It's coming in and out.
It's bad. It could just be, something going on. So we'll go ahead and promote Scott's show tomorrow on Thursday. Scott's going to have a show tomorrow night. Make sure you want to see it. It's good. It's always great. He does live readings. He is his best when he's live sometimes because he picks up on the collective. It starts every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. You can get an answer of a question. And let me tell you, I have had friends. We've played games with Scott. I have a friend who would watch a show. We'd write down a question. We knew what it was. We'd slip it to Scott. We knew the answer, and he would get bang on. He would hit it. He would get it psychically. Didn't even know it was us. So this is how much he blinks in and out of reality. That's why he's such a good psychic. But check him out tomorrow. You'll get live readings, and he's talking about the March energy forecast. And I don't know, man. It's going to be wait, we're not in March. We're in May. I should have said May. I think there's another anomaly happened. That's May. Yeah. Now Morgan's going shit. That
Next
was wrong.
time, Morgan, tell Scott not to use the private chat. That's what kicks me out, and he's been using it.
That's right. Well, I think we're going to go backstage after this. I think we're just going to wrap up this little baby here because it's been a little bit of a nightmare. But this is our new time, we feel, and we'll see how it does, if y'all. And we'll be moving on to the backstage. Now, if you don't know, you go to enchanted.now. Enchanted.now, you can be
That was, by the way, that was. Let me just speak for that. I have a little bit of an opportunity to. That was actually wrong graphic. I'm doing May energy forecast.
That's what I did figure it out there.
So.
And I said it was going to be May. And I did put in a good plug for how brilliant you are, brother. So, let them know how good you are. You are amazing.
I appreciate it.
What do you think about the lucid dreaming thing? We didn't get Scott about lucid dreaming in this weird headband.
I think that's awesome. I mean, lucid dreaming gets you more, aware of your own psychic abilities, your own intuitive awareness. We'll talk more about that backstage. How about that?
There you go. Let's see.
I love the Aquarius to come and just throw the Taurus Leo into fucking be more positive. There is good things about it. And then Taurus Leo, we're like, oh yeah, no, he's actually probably more right. Yeah,
it's
too complex. I want to get into that backstage because it's very complex though. It's not so black and white.
I will say in fairness that when Aquariuses get angry, I see the internet disrupted. They have magical powers.
Oh, they do.
I've lost readings when I tell Aquarius that she's pregnant or something, or it's like baby's coming, that she's gone, she's off the air. It's like I lose her.
Don't forget Uranus when he fell, right? And Saturn, his son took him over. Saturn cut off his nutsack, right?
That's right.
Uranus was very mad for a long time.
Yeah. I will say that some of this, the angrier Scott gets, it's like the Hulk. We're going to see less and less bandwidth. So we just got to keep you happy, buddy. We'll get you backstage. And everyone,
we're not castrating you, bro. We're not here to do that.
No, but Restream is.
You're good, guys.
So come to our backstage audience. There's a QR code there, and we'll be here next week at this time, right, boys? That's the plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And get backstage because that's where we go. Last show was crazy backstage. People were like, "You guys are talking about that." That was a good show. I like backstage.
Psychedelics. So. I know people like to psychedelic talk.
It was intense, and we admitted all certain things we've done in our past. So if you want to learn that,
we really want to know.
Yeah, we'll see you. Don't leave shift shows. Leave out loud. Bye.
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 Oh,
it's crazy. Yeah. Everything. Damn.
Don't use the private chat, bro. That's what kicks you out.
I just had to collapse it, so it's okay for now. I collapsed it. For Morgan.
We should get our own third. Let's get our own third party.
What you have to tell them is their private chat is ruining everything.
Everything. I can see that. But the fact the lucid dreaming thing, I would get into. I like the fact it's in people's awareness about the possibility of it. Now it can be controlled. I don't know about that.
Right.
I'm not letting Elon Musk or anyone do it for me.
Exactly.
Hey, what's up? I'm the Leo King, celebrity astrologer David Palmer. And you might be asking yourself, what is a celebrity astrologer? Am I an astrologer and do I do astrology just for celebrities? You know, being a celebrity astrologer is about embodying a lot. Not only being an astrologer and of course doing readings for celebrities, but it's about connecting the astrologer aspect to the media, to the world. You know, embodying the model part of myself or the TV personality that I've been in my life to connect to this 21st century and to connect to this new world with social media and with television.
And Hollywood is tapping into the spirit world through psychics.
Celebrities want to find their power of self.
Untold with Maria Menounos, tonight at 8 on E!
Especially, astrologers have been around for thousands of years on royal courts. They've been doing it for kings and queens. I mean, bringing the astrologer back into society. It's almost like being an astrologer has been axed out and we've been kind of put into our own little weird world. And I think that it's very important to utilize, you know, all the aspects of connecting to what we think of celebrity and pop culture and bringing these ancient science practices and all this wisdom to the mainstream world. And that's why, you know, building a studio like this here at the Leo King Studios and High Vibe Studios has been part of it, to be able to create my own networks, to create my own content.
And a Taurus is going to have their worth and be a little bougie like you, and it will work out. You can't go with a cheap person or somebody who doesn't know their worth. Guys who don't have self-worth is your biggest turnoff.
That is! If you're not a confident man, get to stepping. I can't deal. I can't deal.
And then as time went by, I went on another big reality show called ABC True Beauty, and I went on and I said, you know what, I'm going to tell the world I'm an astrologer. It's time. It's time to really own this. Because you have to remember, being an astrologer is a little scary. You have religious people who think you're the devil, and then you have the scientific community who think you're schizophrenic. So there's this element of dealing with this aloneness in many ways, of like having to have the courage to follow what a lot of people think is a belief, kind of like religion, which it's not. Astrology is a bridge between the spiritual and the science, energy, and bringing them together.
And celebrity astrologer David Palmer, who is also known as Leo King. I like that, Leo King. So David, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Steve.
That was an amazing reading that you gave, man. And what information does someone learn from a reading?
What I'm trying to show people is that it's all divine. There's divine timing in life, there's divine synchronicities, and I help people see that when they were born so they can align and understand their life better, and it's good for helping people with knowing how to go down the right roads and not the wrong roads in life, because we have that choice.
Celebrity astrologer David Palmer, also known as the Leo King, is back with us. So his astrology guide is a hot seller right now on Amazon. We talked earlier about the modern approach to the age-old practice of astrology. So now let's look into the future. So David, what does the future hold for us? You said in our last segment, this week's going to be a big one.
This week's huge. We got a Mercury retrograde coming in Pisces, which makes things really confusing. At the same time, the planet Uranus is going to come into Taurus like it did in 1934, which was like the rise of Hitler, the total change in all the agreements with the world and world power shifting. But the big thing's President Trump. He's got a pretty intense situation going on in his life. A lot of people look at it, whether it's from the government and the court stuff that's going on or whether or not he's colluded. But the big thing is there's going to be so much confusion in the world. He's going to be having to take on confusing information while being kind of attacked at the same time. So the mental stress is the biggest one. Is he going to mentally be able to handle it?
Astrologist David Palmer, aka the Leo King, who is joining us again here on ET Live.
I know, I'm so
Thanks
glad
for
to be
coming
here.
back. We appreciate having you, especially during Mercury retrograde.
I know. Literally, the elevator on the way up was going up, no, it went down.
You got in the building. You're here on set.
I made it.
You made it. I mean, all right, it's Aries season.
So, well, the reality TV, the first one was 2005. I did a show on MTV called Parental Control. And back then, that was like the first of reality. Real World was the first reality show. And then it was these dating shows that MTV brought out. But they were very extreme and they were all LA, Orange County based because that was where they got all their talent. And so we got reruns all the time. And then I did Next with the Next Bus, where it's like 5 guys or 5 girls in a bus, and then the person who's going to pick the dates can basically
have 5 choices and just say next, next. It was a really big show. So MTV had me do both of them back to back. So I was on 2 shows replaying all the time. And that was where I was like, if I combine this with astrology, there's something there.
Are you or someone you love suffering from bad psychic readings like this?
What do you see with my dog?
I see that he barks and barks and shits. He's your grandmother reincarnated.
I need a real psychic!
Or are you exhausted from vague, recycled guidance like this?
Master Fabio, I need guidance around finances.
Do you have a dream, a job, a salary, a rich man?
No, I have none of those things.
Dear child, go into the circle at 1. Spin counterclockwise 33 times, then clockwise 66 times, repeating the chant, I'm a millionaire. The total should be 333 affirmations.
We are millionaires. We are millionaires. We need better guidance!
And don't even get me started on the Liberace-inspired mentors like this.
Sir Scoticus, why am I not getting the career I want?
You are not wanting enough. Want harder. Then forget about it. That is manifesting.
I need a new mentor!
If you're sick of all the fluff, the bluff, and all the pretentious stuff, and enjoy a good psychic that could spit spontaneous rhymes, then hi, I'm Scott Cruz, psychic medium and mentor, where I turn the vague into vivid, the fairy tales into truth, and the posturing into proof. Book a reading to get actual detailed insight into your past, your present mess, no judgment, and your future glow up. Receive guidance that doesn't just sound good, but gives you something to do. And yes, connect with your loved ones in spirit as they actually are, not always reincarnated as your dog.
It's you, Grandma.
Or your cat. Or your bunny. Or your emotional support goldfish. So visit scottcruzpm.com to book your reading today, or now, or tomorrow.
Something is wrong with the world. You can feel it in the static, in the signals, in the fractures no one else wants to see. I thought I was chasing a secret, a hidden code, a machine buried beneath the noise. But the deeper I went, the more reality began to tear. The city opened, the mask came off, and beyond the chaos, there was another world, ancient, radiant, waiting, and in its light, a woman, Lady Avalon, not a dream, not a ghost, a guide, a warning, a key. Spirit Dial was never just technology, it was a doorway, a threshold between what is ending and what comes next. Now the old world is collapsing in plain sight, the new one is already calling. And once you cross that line, once you see what waits on the other side, you do not return the same.
I see it. The gate is open. No. Tell them I'm not coming back. I'm finishing this right now.
The signal has changed. The future is opening. And this is only the beginning.
It's the Spirit Dial. It bridges the fracture.
How long has it been here?
Waiting for you to answer. Waiting for you to answer.
Get your mind blown. Lady Avalon. Only on spiritdial.ai. The signal has changed. The future is opening. And this is only the beginning.
Yo. I can't hear you.
Yep. All right.
There you
Let's
are.
see. Yeah, Scott keeps getting booted. Crazy tech issues today.
He has to refresh his whole browser and stop using the private chat.
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Sorry, bear with me. Turn everything off except for backstage.